But we live in very, very dangerous times. This is a very dangerous era for knowledge and education. We live in the time of just Google it. And we sit there and we blindly repeat or copy and paste the information from the first few results. And this is how many people who have objections about Islam bring together their information. But the general lack of understanding of the technologies used by companies like Google and Twitter and Facebook is how older people, I've said older people here, but in general people were exploited to help people like Trump win the US election, or how we in the UK ended up voting to leave the EU. Quick dissemination of fake views via these platforms led to people voting for with a muddled understanding of the truth and a misunderstanding of the issues. What people often don't realize is that Google is not the internet. Although as a company they do many things under their umbrella known as Alphabet, from the point of view of this speech, Google.com is just a search tool. It's a search engine. And it uses a few techniques to try to give you the answer it thinks that you want to hear. And this is the crucial thing here. They have millions of bits of information on us, whether we like to or not, whether we've opted out or not. They have retained the information, and they use that to build our profiles and work out our preferences and our biases. So Google gives answers based on how we frame our questions, and pushes us information that reinforces our biases. As a quick example, doing a Google search for "is milk good for you?" and doing a Google search for "is milk bad for you?" gives two completely drastically different sets of results from a Google search. Google looks at the question, "is milk bad for you?" and the algorithm pushes back the answers it thinks that you want to see. So in the case of this, "is milk bad for you?" it cites PETA, who are the people for the ethical treatment of animals. We all know them. They've been on the news. They violently attacked people in laboratories, etc., etc. And the result from Google search is, citing PETA, that it warns of dangerous health problems from drinking milk. Now, for someone not internet savvy, and most aren't, even those who think they have, or even those who think they are, actually have a very limited understanding of how these algorithms work, could take this as the truth. Because in searching for "is milk bad for you?", what they're actually trying to do is confirm that it is bad for them. Similarly, if you type in "why are Komodo dragons endangered?", Google gives you the answer: volcanoes, fire, and tourism. And you can all check on your phones right now. That's the answer that it gives. And that seems reasonable. Okay, volcanoes, fire, and tourism could be a reason why Komodo dragons are endangered. But when you dig deeper into the answer, you'll see that the source of that information is actually a Canadian elementary school student's report, a 7-year-old child's report, which was uploaded to the internet. If you remove the word "why" and just search for "are Komodo dragons endangered?", then you get the correct answer, which is no. So you can see how our own unconscious biases and how not asking a question properly can lead to being given the wrong information. I've used milk as an example and Komodo dragons as an example because if I had have said something about Islam and stuff like that, the results would have been pretty hideous. But you can see how easy it is to think you have the correct information when it's nonsense. Nobody here would have known that Komodo dragons are not endangered and would have taken that information to be correct. But imagine that now. Take that and those examples and imagine that when someone does a search about Islam when they hate Muslims. When they search about Islam and they think Islam is a violent religion. When they frame the question that way, they get the answers that they want. Yes, Islam is a violent religion. Yes, Muslims are violent people. So you can see how dangerous Google can actually be. And you can see why we have such a problem with fake news and Islamophobia. And education is the golden bullet which can save humanity. And whether it's ISIS or Trump or the Conservative government, they all reap the benefits of an undereducated population. So my parting message at the end of this speech for all of you is travel in search of knowledge, even if it takes you to China. Thank you.